Legend of Total War here, and today we'll be starting a new series on this channel. This is going to be a Legendary Difficulty early game masterclass. So what I'll be doing is taking a faction, and I'll be playing it for about 20 turns, and providing a bit of a guide on how to get a good start with that faction on Legendary Difficulty specifically. And I'm hoping this is mainly to help people who are looking to play on Legendary Difficulty for the first time, but haven't yet ever played on that difficulty. And what we'll be doing, we're going to be playing as the Dwarfs today, but what we'll do is for the subsequent episodes, you guys let me know in the comments what faction you want me to cover next, and then that'll be, whatever the top rated comment is, that's what we'll do. Alright, so like I said, today we're going to start with the Dwarfs.
We must preserve this world.
And we'll just go with Thorgrim Grudgebearer. Now, the Dwarves have two legendary lords you can start off with, being Thorgrim or Grombrindle. Now, for the most part, the first 20 turns for both of those is more or less the same. So let's jump in now, and I'll explain how to get a good start for the first 20 turns. So here we are. You start off with one region, Karaz-Akarak. Now, Dwarfs are one of the easiest factions in Total War Warhammer, but even on Legendary Difficulty, it is possible to fail. So hopefully with this guide, anybody who's never played Legendary Difficulty, but at least have some degree of experience with Total War Warhammer, can pick this up and not immediately fail. So, playing Legendary Difficulty, you have to firstly understand that you're going to have some handicaps, and that the AI are going to have a massive amount of bonuses. First, let's understand the handicaps that we have holding us back. Now, the biggest one is going to be the difficulty level penalty to public order. Every province that you have is going to have a -8 public order penalty. Now, there's not much you can do at the early game to negate it, so rather than desperately trying to get rid of it, instead embrace it. Let the province revolt, because it's not that necessarily a bad thing. The Dwarves' biggest strength is actually defending their settlements. They are probably the best faction in the game for defending their settlements. And Karaz-Akarak has one of the best base garrisons in the game. You don't need to build another wall building. And since you can upgrade it straight to level 2 at the start, even if it revolts early, you're pretty much going to be fine. So public order is something to be taken into consideration, but don't go straight away building public order, okay? You want to be building public order when it's time to leave the province, which is not what we want to do now. The first thing that we want to do is consolidate the Silver Road. We want to consolidate this province, own all three, and lock it down tight before we do anything else. Now, the next thing we have to understand is that the AI has uber cheats. The Greenskins are going to have so many armies come at us very early on, even though this is ranked as an easy early start. You're going to find yourself very overwhelmed if you don't take certain precautions, or if you don't, underestimate your opponents. Anyway, just got to keep that in mind. Now, first thing you got to do, and this is not difficult to do, is take your army and defeat this dude. Now, what you want to be doing is get as many victories as possible. Okay, so not necessarily crush this army and annihilate it completely. You definitely want to fight a battle manually, but we want to make sure some of them escape. Don't obliterate the enemy, which is, to be honest, it's kind of difficult to obliterate the enemy considering you have no cavalry, no means to run them down, but don't try to wipe them out. Now, winning a game of Legendary Difficulty Total War is not all about just winning battles. You have to think beyond the battle. Now, there's holding lots of territories, and then there's also upgrading your lords. Thorgrim Grudgebearer is one of the best legendary lords in the game. Leveling him up will improve your entire army, so that you don't necessarily need as many provinces, because you're probably not going to have that many to begin with. Anyway, another thing is you got to understand the Dwarves' strengths. They are very much a sturdy defense faction, in that you don't charge the enemy, you get the enemy to charge at you into a death trap. You lead them into a trap. So artillery advantage is a big must for the Dwarfs, and you start off with some grudge throwers.
Find your targets.
And a real simple line of it's one of the things that makes the Dwarfs so easy to play, I suppose, is how easy it is to form up their lines. Melee infantry up front, missile units in the second row, artillery at the back row. But also, heroes up front. What you want them to be doing is basically tanking as much damage as possible, because if they can tank like 2 or 3 units, the artillery can shoot into the into Thorgrim's unit, not actually hitting him, but smashing a lot of units while that's going on. So hiring some heroes early on is very beneficial, especially for the dwarfs. So want to be a fair bit away, because he's really tanky. He can take a lot of damage. And these guys here, they're not going to be that effective. Even the hammerers on Legendary Difficulty, whilst they are your best unit, they're nerfed a little bit because of the difficulty rating. Now, if you've got artillery superiority, the AI will pretty much always come at you, and that's what we want. Now, I'm going to try and do this guide here, this one specifically, without maximizing cheese, because I know some people have a massive aversion to it. You don't need to cheese on the Dwarf Legendary to start, so I'm going to not do it. What I would normally do, though, is dodge these shots, but I'm not going to do it this time. So I want Thorgrim to go in, charge head first, and just have these guys stand in reserve. Because what this is going to do, it's going to create a large enemy surface area, where you've got a small chance of hitting your own troops, but a very large chance of hitting an enemy troop. And because there's so many of these troops over here that aren't actually able to hit Thorgrim, he's not actually taking that much damage. Plus he's able to slow down the amount of damage they do to him anyway. Also, while the enemy is shooting at him, they're actually hitting their own units. But not all of the enemy units are going to take the bait, so you'll have to charge in. But don't send them over here. Missile units need to be focused on this. By selecting your artillery and holding Alt, you can fire at the ground. Just makes them a little bit more accurate. Just be careful of the obstruction symbol there. It's like an orange. I mean, if you're playing on Legendary Difficulty, you should already know this. This isn't a guide to play on easy. Man, if you don't know that shit, just go back to normal difficulty. You'll be relying on your missile units the most, I reckon, in this campaign. So always try to make sure they're shooting at something effectively. Like, they were just not shooting for a while there. Probably wasn't a great idea. Alright, there's the army loss penalty. Which means the battle's won. Probably looking at a close victory, just by guessing at it. Hard to run them down with dwarves, we're just not fast enough, but if I can get a few extra shots. So leveling him up, I usually go with campaign movement range first, because you really do need to get around faster. Now, another thing is, leveling up your lords is so bloody important. If you level him up wrong, you're stuck that way. You can't respec him, okay? So you need to have a plan in mind for how your army is going to look by the end game. You don't need to put points into stuff to make your early game armies stronger, okay? You can get through it if you prioritize it right. So what we eventually want to get with the dwarves, in my opinion, lightning strike is a must, but even more important, inspirational leader. Getting that extra casualty replenishment rate is going to make it so that you can fight battles more often, because you're going to need to. Now, the next thing we want to do is make sure that we attack the remnant army, not the city. Okay. Once again, we'll want to fight the battle manually. This time the odds say it's not in our favor, but that's okay. The two armies are separated. It's hard to actually call them an army. The two forces are separated. Now, depending on where they show up on the field, it's possible for us to take out one of their forces before the other one even arrives, making it easier. So the reinforcements are coming from over here. Now, that army there is dead no matter what. Okay, all they need to do is lose the battle. This will be a second defeat. They're goners. So what we can do here is smash up this army here, do as much damage to them as possible, but again, don't wipe them out because we want to get another battle out of them. And just basically push them off the edge, make them retreat before they've even come onto the field. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to set this up over this way. And we're going to charge at them before they've had a chance to come into the field and get set up. So as soon as they rout, they don't get a chance to come back. Because you'll notice in the previous battle, they routed and came back. You don't want them coming back. Those guys will take a while to get over here. I put them over here so that those guys would take a long time to get over to attack them. And also, you want to kind of angle it. You don't really want to be shooting over the heads of your troops too much. Now, maybe these guys, since they've got Vanguard deployment, put them here. Just in case they decide they want to take a runner at our artillery. Always got to protect the artillery. See, I set up wrong.
Nothing can stop us.
Said they were going to show up there, but that wasn't where the middle of them was going to be.
Strike out. Thy king, Thorgrim Smutsbearer.
Protect the artillery.
Fire on the foe. All dead I'll get him. Pump those dwarven legs. Hammerers.
If you can, create sort of like choke points where our archers can fire effective. Okay, hang on. Why don't you shoot into this one here? Holding space, we can see where our troops are. Let's see. Maybe have the artillery shoot into here. I think that'd be good. Maybe you stay out of the way. Enemy reinforcements are catching up. Slow them down if you can. Don't worry too much if the crawlers get into melee, they're pretty decent at it. Just make them fire as long as they can. The reinforcements are pretty much gone now. Nothing to be concerned about with them. So I'd say that even though we can't see the balance of power, we can pretty much gauge it's in our favour at this point. Now the army loss penalty has been inflicted without us really even having to fight these guys at all. So they're all dead anyway, which is why it was good to prioritize the other guys here. Because if we had done it in reverse, fought these guys and then these ones, what would have happened is they would have run away, we would have been unable to pursue them because we're too slow, and that we wouldn't have done very much damage to them. And so the next battle, they'll still be more or less at full strength. Like I said, these guys here, they're dead no matter what. And then we do this one. Again, we could auto-resolve this, but auto-resolve has a possibility of nuking a unit, and since we don't have a very large army, and we can't really recruit that fast, better fight it manually. It won't take long to get through this. Honestly, looting and occupying, you can get away with that, but since it's such a piss amount of money, just occupy it.
Your Dowie have been put to
Shut
work
up.
fixing up the captain.
I'm the advisor here. Okay.
King acts.
Alright, that's 2 out of 3 of the settlements. Now, these kind of buildings here, I absolutely hate it when I see people sending me in save files and I see barracks is built in the main chain, in the primary building, in the capital, because it maxes out at tier 3, which means you can get the same effectiveness from a minor settlement. So we are going to replace this, but not yet. First thing I want to build will be diamonds, because let me just check this. Yeah, there's more money in diamonds. Then next thing I want to do is get some dwarf warriors. We don't want miners. Miners can't hold the line anywhere near as dwarf warriors. Shields are pretty damn useful as well. And even though they're a lot cheaper, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Don't worry too much about the money stuff right now. Okay, well that looks good. Keep the taxes as it is. Now, as for research, what I like to do first is go for growth. Okay. We're not worried about public order right now. You're probably not going to stop a revolt from occurring, and it can actually work in your favor. Let the revolt occur. Now, this building here, we could demolish that and build money, but we don't need that right now. What we got to be focusing on is building this up to tier 3, because as I've said before, dwarfs are the best defenders in the game, in my opinion. And you can't really leave this province until the walls have been built. So we've got to get growth happening quickly. Dwarves' settlements grow really, really slowly at the start. And even though it's only 15 growth, we just got to suck that up. Now, there's 2 things you can do when dealing with the next settlement, right? If we occupy the settlement, because we'll win the battle, no problem. We've got a larger army, even though it's still a little bit damaged, and it's just a garrison. No problem, right? There's 2 things we can do. We can occupy it, and that way we can put down an edict, which will increase our growth. Or we can sack it over and over and over again, once every turn. Focus on developing this up to tier 3. Once it's at tier 3, then take it. It'll make this take longer to get to tier 3, but what we'll do is we'll actually end up bringing in more money that way, because you get money from sacking it and from winning the battle. But more importantly, leveling up Thorgrim. Now, the downside is that we can't get back here, like here, to recruit more units over the end turn if we do that. Anyway, let's go over here and attack it first.
Ready access.
I think we can just justify auto-resolving this time. Alright, I'm going to sack it first.
Move in.
Okay, we do actually have enough movement to do it. Then come back over here. You don't have to do it this way. You don't have to do it this way, but it's a good way to level up, and we can hit him again next turn. Again, don't worry about public order. More important that we do some recruiting.
The runes are cast.
So don't force much back. Get that level up. Good. As for this battle here, don't worry about that right now. So they're recruiting. We're going to have to deal with that pretty soon. Alright, so they've gone and repaired it all. There's going to be repercussions for what's coming. Let's see here. See, sometimes, not always, they'll teleport over here, right? They'll use the underway to get over here, and I can't protect both settlements. So it might be better for me to just sit here, but at the same time, that's where we want the barracks to be, instead of here. It's not crucial, we don't have to do that right away. And again, leveling up Thorgrim's really important. They're not going to come at us just yet, and if we do occupy this, we'll basically just be sitting there for a turn or two. Alright, let's have a quick look into diplomacy. We started off with a trade agreement with Barracks, but let me just see if I can squeeze just a little bit of cash out of them. Okay, cool. Get a tiny little bit out of some of them. Some of them will reject it, but that's okay. Let's have a look. Let's see how much money we get from loot, from just winning this battle first. Just auto-resolve would be fine. Yeah, pennies. Because they'll repair it every turn as well, most likely. Alright, this time we're going to occupy it. Okay, got to recruit.
Very well.
Don't use global recruitment. Now we can get rid of this. Now, what I'll do in this situation here is, because our barracks is here, it's our most important building in the province, we'll actually upgrade Mount Squighorn first. Now, if the Pillars of Grugny get captured by the Greenskins, who cares? It's at level 1. It's not going to go down in rank. Then we want to go get that growth. Now, here's the thing with the point. This is why sometimes you sack it over and over again, right? Now we have to basically just sit here and do nothing, more or less, until the broken spears come back and make an attack, which are going to come soon. Now, look, they've already got a full stack ready. We have to be ready for this. They're going to teleport over here next turn. We either... okay, we got to start getting ready for this. Now, some people, what they do is they make a beeline for Mount Gunbad. I don't recommend doing that. It's possible for you to recruit another army and maintain the settlement here. But if you recruit another army on Legendary Difficulty, you have a plus 15% extra upkeep penalty, right? So, based on our army just right there, recruiting another Lord will increase our overall upkeep by 661. Now, the amount of money that you'll make from this Tier 2 settlement will be so low that it won't pay for the bonuses. Yes, Mount Gunbad has a lot of potential, but you're spreading your forces too thin, you're not making enough money. Let the AI develop it first. We've got a province, now we have to hold it. Don't have to worry about Karazak Karak, they're not getting in there. That can easily fend off a full stack and a half. So we want to go money. Don't worry about the public order either. Like I said, don't worry about public order. Okay, artillery. That's a must. Getting some more artillery would be good. Just keeping in mind cost. And then we're probably going to want more growth. Yeah. It'll also help replenishment rates as well. Because, yeah, we're going to want to get Quarrelers as soon as possible. And then, given our financial situation, it would be good to get more growth. But we do need more cash coming in. Because artillery is going to be a bit more expensive than miners. Because we're going to disband these guys soon for grudge throwers. Alright. Now, the real... oh, okay. They can't run from here. Actually, we got very lucky with this. Because our garrison's actually going to come out and help. They can't run away. They're dead if they lose. Even though it's not at full strength. I don't anticipate a problem here. Dwarfs fight very well in the underway because they can't get flanked. But since our garrison's free, you have them act as the front line. Now, you'd think at the moment here, based on the terrain, that, oh yeah, putting our artillery here would be a good idea because it's the high ground. Not necessarily. There's actually a lot of obstruction to do with that. You want to be standing back a fair bit. They're definitely going to come at us, so we don't need to worry about that because they don't have artillery and we do. Right, I'm going to tell it not to shoot just yet, because what they'll do, right, they'll see them down here, but rather than arcing their shot over, they don't take the terrain into consideration. They will literally shoot the ground. Alright, I might move these guys just a little bit more forward. Have the artillery shoot into there now. So they're getting all nice and tired, and our front line here is all nice and fresh. Keeping reserves can be a great way of just grinding the enemy down. Always try to aim for the biggest concentration of troops. Now, the biggest problem with doing this is that if Thorgrim is really in danger and needs to be pulled back, kinda can't. So, just gotta keep an eye on that. Because if he starts to get in real danger, we're gonna have to go out there and try and save him. Because he'll still fight at full strength as long as he's got more than one hit point left. Whereas these guys here don't. Another reason why I have your Lords tank him to begin with. Now, in Legendary Difficulty, the AI get a significant bonus to melee, so this is why we really try to prioritize a kill zone for missile units. Not so much just going to melee. It's the worst way to win in Legendary Difficulty. Alright, there we go. Victory's in our grasp. And they didn't even get to our main line. Because another win would not only provide us with more money, but also with more experience for Thorgrim. He's almost got Lightning Strike, and you really need it as the Dwarfs. Because you're going to be outnumbered a lot of the time, and that's just a way to even the odds a bit. And there we go, decisive victory. This time I am going to take the release captives, because we need the money. It's only going to reduce our replenishment rate for a turn. Since we didn't take that much damage, it's fine. Like I said, he had nowhere to go. How do I know that? 2,600 hours in this game. There'll be less goblins in this army, more greenskin units. Makes for bigger targets, though.
It is time.
Okay, we can now get some artillery. Let's do that. With this, I won't be concerned about this at all. Okay, because we're gonna... Oh, it's 17 units. We'll be fine. Let them come. In fact, they're more inclined to come because we actually look weaker with the units disbanded. The biggest downside to doing that, though, is that it's going to take a hit in our finances, but we have to make sure we can protect these provinces. That's where I thought that they were going to go the first time. Great thing about this, we can get 2 battles out of them. Provided they don't withdraw the first time. It's also good that they're not just, like, sending 2 stacks at once. It's important when they do arrive, you get rid of them immediately. Don't give them a chance to build up over time, which is why it was important not to leave the province. Because if we had gone down this way or gone up that way, then we would have had to come down here, would have had to chase these guys around. Stay here, we can deal with it. That's actually really bad. That's going to lower our growth a little bit. It's unlucky, but there's not much we can do about it. Actually, no, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, level up for Thorgrim. Iron-Willed, that's good for him, so he'll replenish faster in future, so we can afford for him to take more damage. But that's about it. It doesn't actually increase the replenishment rate of the army. Anyway, let's do this. Good, I'm glad they stood and fought. We won't get any reinforcements this time. Oh my god, it's all just greenskins. This is going to be easy. There's nothing to be concerned about here. They have no advantage. Once again, I'll go with this because money's tight and we need it.
March.
This time we'll get the garrison to come out and help. Once again, I'll take the money. Now that'll mean an additional turn of reduced replenishment rate, but it's fine. We don't have that much damage on units that actually matter. So there's Lightning Strike, but considering we're not really going up against multiple enemies at the moment, I'm instead going to go for Inspirational Leader, so that we can get just a tiny little bit of extra replenishment per turn. Alright, one more turn. That one's probably going to be close to full strength. And then, yeah, still got 2 turns until they come. Alright, let's do this battle now. Okay. Just when you think, alright, let's do this. Nope. Okay, like I said before, we gotta lure this guy into a trap. If he sees us here, he's not gonna attack. So let's come over to here and go into ambush stance and lure him, because I can beat him out in the field. Alright, we don't want to go in front of it. We want him to make the attack and be like, oh shit, I failed. So teleport over there. Dragon Helm doesn't matter. The Runesmith, whatever, just let's get this done. Don't so much need that money now as we need replenishment rate. Good, there's the level up that we needed. Cut that one close. Alright, we got this guy coming in as well. Bring him over. Alright, stay at Mount Squighorn, and we want to get rid of these 3 units here. And recruit 3 units of Quarrelers, and there goes all of our money. Extra replenishment's good as well, but I definitely think we're going to need Lightning Strike, considering they're going to have 2 full stacks real soon. We need to be able to take them out one at a time. We probably shouldn't attach the Runesmith into the army, because it's going to lower our movement, and I'm going to need to catch up and finish them off, and make it back to Mount Squighorn before they arrive. So even though it'd be good to get this guy some experience, like this will use up, be 19 versus 20. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? We'll be fine. We're stronger now.
What? Bring them.
It's tempting, because there's other things we need to build as well. I'll take the money this turn. If it's, you know, if it's a high enough amount of money, take it. Alright, that might actually be too far to chase after them. I have to gauge.
Throw bearers. Let's march. Beards in belts.
If I do that, I won't be able to make it all the way back here next turn, which means no recruitment. I don't need to recruit though, but also means less replenishment. Don't give them the chance to run away. Kill him now. Because they can just keep recruiting. Even with 1 settlement, they can recruit like 4 armies. Alright, definitely want that replenishment now.
Throw bearers. Let's march.
Now, if he does make it over here, we should be able to still attack him. Alright, so they're raiding. Okay, so that's fine. We definitely want to get them to stop raiding. So what we'll have to do is go down here and go into ambush stance. Try to lure them over here. If they don't see us, they'll be like, "Ooh, I'm going to go take the city." And we'll get them. Alright. So we dropped it down, but like I said, 320. And we still should have a little bit of money left over, in which we can upgrade this, because that's also reduced by 10%. And then we can empower the guilds again.
Aye.
So I want to stand over here. Go into ambush stance. Hopefully they don't see us. And stop screaming. Because they're also costing us money on top of that. We want that money back. But yeah, in 2 turns we'll be growing this one here. But we just still need to make sure that the walls are built. That has to get done as well. Now that that's done, now we start focusing on public order over here. There's no need for us to recruit any more units for quite some time now. This is an early game doom stack.
Send me to vengeance for the Karazhan Corps.
Ooh, only have 9% movement left, but that's all we need.
We mark another grudge.
The garrison will see fewer battles than the main army. We now need to have the main army go over and deal with the rebellion, but it might be best to have the rebellion actually besiege Karaz-Karak first. Because that will be we'll be able to utilize the garrison there. Yeah, I'll take the money because we're not bad at damage. And it's gone. They'll be back again soon. This is why you can't leave. You have to be here to protect it. Alright, so they're going to besiege the settlement. Fine. We don't sell it out. We would have lost a little bit of money due to trade. The trade agreement will still stand, but it's just blockaded. Now, these guys are coming in as well. It's just going to be the same sort of army that we've already been dealing with loads of times. So need to start working towards Thunderer. Do we want anything else from here? No. So that's all done. The blue line is done now. Now what I could do is... Actually, I could just regular march there.
Forwards.
So you gonna show up or not? Yeah, okay. Okay, if we auto-resolve this, it probably will wipe them out, and it's possible that only the garrison will take a fair bit of damage. No, it's evenly spread out, but that's totally acceptable there. And now, when we release captives here, only it'll be affected here, so it's totally fine. Alright, they've got an army coming in over here. We need to deal with that as soon as possible. Could certainly use a little bit of extra replenishment. These guys will be a few turns before they threaten here again. Now, what this guy might do is force march over to here to threaten the Pillars of Grogny. But that's fine. If he does that, we'll be able to get him. So, this is what I'm tossing up now. Whether to force march to here to get the bit of extra replenishment. But he might slip past us. Yeah, but he'll slip past in force march. That'd be stupid of him to try it. Okay. Even if he gets all the way to here, I should still be able to reach him. So let's see what kind of balls this orc has, because you know they don't have balls. All right, anything else you need to build? Could go with a bit of extra growth. We got the money for it, but I think I might just chill on that because there'll be other things we need to build. Moving on. Oh yeah, and we got this coming in. So I actually want them to come in so I can just get rid of them, because we've got to deal with this next turn. Now we start managing the public order. Now, this guy here, Nashrak, is probably going to be chicken shit. If I show up sitting here, I don't think he'll make the attack. As in, I don't think he'll teleport over here. But I think this one here might. Alright, now that Mount Squighorn's been built up, we've got 5 turns to get the walls built. Once the walls are built, we can basically just sit on the Pillars of Grogny, stick our middle finger up at the orcs and say, good luck, motherfucker. Fuck them. Alright, what are we doing next? Yeah, we probably won't be able to wipe them out. Nobbler. Yeah, he is a bloody gobnobbler. Alright. So at the Pillars of Grogny, it's safe for now, but rather than build money, this time we're going to go walls to begin with. Because we don't desperately need the money, we don't need to build another barracks, and we need to protect it. It'll also mean that once we get to here, we can quickly get that finished off. Yeah, as we start to get more heroes and more abilities, we start to have to micromanage the battles a little bit more. Make sure we utilize as many of the abilities as we can. Otherwise, especially if they're repeatable ones, otherwise you're just losing a little bit of efficiency. Okay, cool. Our armies are good enough shape that we can easily take out that other army right now. We're going to need the replenishment. We've got a decent income, so I'll just execute.
Beards in belts. The High King acts. Throne bearers,
there we go. Full replenishment. That's what we want to see. Okay, now that we've done all of this, we can either go High King. No, what? I tell you what we need. I mean, that is good. Look at this. Public order, local province. Growth, local province. Yeah, go with ancient bloodline. That's really good. I was going to go down here, but ancient bloodline for growth, public order. But yeah, primarily the growth. But like I said, this guy here is not going to engage with us. So there's another option though. Trick him. Trick them both.
Aye, aye. It will better our cause.
Not going to build that this turn. Do it next turn, so it will be cheaper for both of them. If any of them come over here, we should be able to make enough money from the loot in order to build both. Like this is not urgent. We don't need Longbeards right now. They are good, but we don't need them. So we just have to hope that these guys take the bait. Ugh. Ah, you're an idiot. Oh, they didn't. Okay. I could probably reach it, but I don't know. Can I do it? They're gonna. I don't think they're gonna teleport. Then they're quite content raiding. Yeah, they are. The ambush failed. They saw me. I don't think these guys are gonna come at us. So prioritize dealing with the greenskins. If they teleport over here, it could be a problem. I could wipe out that army this turn. They've come in close enough that I can get them. But then, am I going to be able to make it back over here to take Gluzgag Rotgut? Alright, how much money have we got? Have we got enough for this? 2,700? Oh, we do. We just managed to slip by. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. If I attack him, he'll run away. I won't be able to pursue him, though. I mean, I might be able to, but if we force march back here, he'll be too far away to make the attack at Mount Squighorn, probably. And if this guy comes over here, I should still be able to reach him. And they've only got 3 turns now before, like I said, we don't have to worry about this at all. Now that that's done, we can put that back to growth. Because we still need to get this. Well, you know, that's if we were continuing. Anyway, so let's attack him. We should have enough to get back to force march. Like I said, he'll run away. I might have enough to pursue him. But at the very least, it stops the raider. It does. But like I said, it's not really worth wiping him out. Just for... But at the sacrificing Pillars of Grundy. Because they'll put him over here and I won't be able to reach him. I'll be able to force march there though. Next turn. I will be able to do that. I'll be in force march though. So, I mean, the walls are built here, so they'll still be up against overwhelming force. Right, take him out. I'll take the money. I know we've got extra replenishment. I need extra cash. So, Ancestral Blood Grimnir. I usually like to get... So, Grogny. Usually like to get Lords over Runesmiths. But this guy here, since he's going to cost us a lot of money just to have him for the turn, at least he can help us reduce construction costs over here by 15% more. So we're only keeping him for the turn, right? And then that will make this a bit cheaper. So looking at this, can we launch an attack? No and no. That's exactly what I was afraid of. And that's exactly why we got him. Now I don't need to force march over here. But he does actually need to make the attack. Oh shit, we gotta be careful here. Because if I attack from here in the underway, my army will actually pop up right behind them. Not good. But if I attack him, it'll push him slightly over this way. It's okay. It's actually fine, because you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm not going to... Yeah, no, it'll only affect this army. That army is no threat to us now. But this one still is. Now, he's in range of the garrison here, so that we can actually use that to help us out.
It is time! Lord of Clan Morgrim, Master of Runecraft.
So like I said, we got Regiment of Renown. We can use that to fill up the gaps.
Yes.
Alright, let's see here. Would be good to take them both out, but...
Send me to vengeance.
So there we go. You come over here first.
Thronebearers, move!
Move out of his way slightly, please.
To war! My anger burns bright.
I don't need the Regiment of Renown for this.
Grimnir's axe thirsts.
It's all good. But I'll go with Advanced Forging to begin with.
I hope by the ancestor gods.
Alright, they're no longer in the underway. But it's going to be a messy fight. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a messy one. That's the garrison army, so that doesn't matter. This is Storgrim here. I know that because that's where they were on the map. I don't really care if this guy does die, but we probably need him to take out the other army. The garrison army doesn't matter so much, so I'll just put him there. Come on, gotta get ready to start shooting right away. It's not ideal that they show up here, but they didn't really prepare very well for it. And it will make our army show up in a giant mess. They don't seem to care that they're here. Come over here. Looks to me like everything's gonna be fine here. I mean, they've already taken a beating. Haven't done any damage to us. Now, if our guys can just hold the line until these guys get here, we'll come up and smack them in the butt. I really need to pull these hammerers out of here. Because we can't replace them right now. Not the end of the world if we do lose them, but still. Pull them out. Would have been way better if they could have smashed up the garrison, because these guys are going to take a few turns to recover. But at the same time, they don't have any real reserves after this. because we've wiped out another stack of theirs recently. Won't expect to see them for a while. We'll have plenty of time to recover. There's the army loss penalty. They're all gone. Our army should be intact. Damaged, but intact. We can wipe out one of these armies. Which one? I could send Thorgrim over here, and that'll just send them packing back home. Right, you take out this one. And then you come stand here. They cannot get to Mount Squighorn, and we've got that under control. Now we can continue building this. Right, we're at turn 20. But it's like, we just need to last long enough until these walls here are built. Once that's done, no problem. Now, it doesn't matter what they do. They can't get to Mount Squighorn next turn. We don't need to have a presence nearby here. That is now secure.
The High King
And you are dead.
onward.
You ran a long distance, but
Move in.
it's fine. We'll be able to make it back to the Pillars of Grogny.
Retake
So here comes Grimgor Ironhide, but he's only level 5, and we're level 14. Although we've focused on campaign skills, and he's focused on battle skills, it's not going to matter. We can see here that he's actually improved goblins, not orcs. So nothing to be too concerned about here. And plus we have extra defenses. Now, what he might want to do is try to go for the Pillars of Grogny, because he can sneak around here. So we'll go into ambush stance. We're in pretty much full strength. Hang on, let me just see. Are they allied with each other? No. The worst case scenario would be if they fight us one after another. So we want to go where we can be as hidden as possible. It's all the same. It's all grassland. So just go in the middle, block the way. Actually, go there and block the way. That way, even if he does attack us, the garrison comes out. They have to teleport if they want to get through us. There's a chance we won't get discovered, but chances are we will get discovered. Dwarfs are not master ambushers. And they're buggering off. So, we could go over there and beat them. You've seen me beat them loads of times already. But that's the end of this guide here, because it'll just never end. That's what Legendary Difficulty is. You've got the money there. All you need to do is hold on to that for 3 turns. You don't even need to sit here. If they were to besiege it, they can't take it. Yeah, the defenses here, if you have a look at the garrison, high quality units, but more importantly, it's the artillery. You utilize the artillery. Don't hold on to the walls at all costs. Make sure you make use of choke points, and you'll obliterate the orcs, because they're coming in with like just loads and loads of orc boys. They'll just choke themselves through choke points, and you just get 600-700 kills in every battle. Anyway, that's the end of this particular early game mastery. It's a rough campaign at the beginning. Even though it's ranked as easy, you can see that the greenskins, that they just don't want to let up. Anyway, let me know in the comments which faction you would like me to cover next. And until then, I'll see you next time, fuckers.